Abdurrahman, as we enter 2026, I can't believe it's all will be there in 2 months. So
Flies too fast, man.
too
Yeah.
fast, too fast. So what job search strategies or systems or what can people do differently in 2026 that will get the attention of the employer?
Yeah. So it's important to note that the 2026 job market starts now,
Mhm.
right? Like just like we talked about in a previous question in a previous video, that the best time to network is before you need it. The same thing. Like if you are right now in 2025, you're like, you know what, I'm happily employed, but I'm thinking about a job search in 2026. Start from now, right? Start building those relationships for now. Start identifying that potential next role now. Start identifying a list of companies that you want to work for. Even if you don't apply to anything, the best thing you can do is to build relationships.
Yes.
And even though I talk often about like, hey, individuals are using 2010, 2015, job search tactics in a 2025 job market, right? The one thing that has been consistent for as long as I guess humanity's been around is relationships.
Yes.
That no matter what time period we've been in, relationships have always been the fastest way to opportunities and the most effective way to opportunities, right? And so, honestly, I would say the biggest thing right now, right, the market has been going steady for
Yeah.
quite some time in 2025, but build those relationships for now. Now, in terms of any kind of market conditions that may change in the next year, right, there's going to be the natural cyclical ones, right? So, for example, typically when the new calendar year rolls around, companies have renewed budgets and there's new hiring plans. So typically what we see in the new year is this spike in new potential hiring, right?
Yeah.
So just kind of preparing for that. And a lot of people do time it with that. But I always advise that if the majority of people know this information, the majority of people take advantage of this information, right? And so even though there might be more opportunities, there's also going to be a spike in more people looking. So that, again, start early.
Yeah.
2026 has already started. Most people are thinking about 2026 starting January 1st,
Mm.
right? If you want to be smart about it, you start it from now. Your 2026 job search starts now, right?
Yeah.
If you start from now, you have a 3 month lead, 2.5 month lead against everybody else, right? This is the time to build up those relationships. And I'd also say this, I'll end it with this, Mihir, which is that there are companies that still do hire right up until the day before Christmas, right? And so, just because it's near the end of the year, and yes, people think it's kind of slow,
Yeah.
I've personally had many clients that have gotten hired right up until Christmas, right? Just because companies want to make sure they use up all their budgets for 2025 and make sure they have new candidates ready to go for 2026. So,
What
yeah.
about the use of AI and ChatGPT? Because a lot of people are using, and I
Mm,
tell
mm,
them don't use copy paste, use as a first draft ideas and make sure that you are using your own voice because they will ask you a question. Hey, you said that you met 10K for this company. How did you do it? So don't
mm.
lie. So what do you think in terms of that?
So, artificial intelligence is helpful, but because it's made things so easy, it's
Mhm.
gotten to a point where people have used artificial intelligence to the point that they forget about real intelligence.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? So, and what I mean by that is I believe that AI is most useful when you know what you are already doing before, right? I'll give you an example, right? This big thing that's been going around vibe coding, where it's like anybody can go and hop onto a GPT or an LLM of some sort, put it in a prompt, and it will code something for you, right?
Yeah.
When that first came out, people were like, "This is amazing." You could build incredible software without even knowing how to code, right? And so people started building things until it started breaking. And now they're going back to engineers who understand this stuff, who study it, and
Mm.
saying, hey, can you help me fix this?
Mm.
Right. And so this is no different than anything else, right? Because I see so many people using AI to help them build out resumes, for example,
Yes.
right? Which is not a bad thing in and of itself. But if you don't understand theoretically how to build a good resume on your own,
Yeah.
then you won't know what the AI is doing, right? You'll say, hey, build me an amazing resume that does X, Y, and Z, makes me look good for this role. But if you don't know what makes a good resume, you'll just accept whatever the AI gives you. And
Yeah.
the AI is going to give you based on whatever it was trained on,
Trained
right?
on.
And so, like, even for me as a professional, right, I use AI to help my clients build out the resumes, but I've read and reviewed thousands and tens of thousands of resumes. I know exactly, and I built them manually by hand for years
Yeah.
before ChatGPT even came out. So now when ChatGPT is out, it just makes that administrative task easier. But I still have to work with the AI to be like, okay, you know what? This is wrong. Let's make this adjustment. Let's make things look like this. And then I'll manually go and fix things. So use AI, but I would say first take the time to understand the theory behind what you need that AI to do. So that when the AI glitches or doesn't do it exactly the way you need it to, you can actually spot it,
Yeah.
as opposed to just accepting it whatever it gives you, submitting that application, and then finding out in the interview like, oh whoa, okay, I didn't
I
catch
didn't
that.
know that.
This
Yeah.
is this is
Uh,
news to me, right?
yeah.
So yeah, don't use AI, use artificial intelligence, but don't forget about real
Yeah.
intelligence.
Don't forget you're also a human person.
That's right. That's right.
And with that, my interview comes to an end. Abdurrahman, thank you again for taking the time for these very practical tips. Again, for the audience, if you haven't watched any of the videos, please go and all post it on a daily basis. And if you have any other questions, you can reach to us. Our contact is available below. And again, thank you and wish you all the best. Keep in touch, everyone. I have one more guest for 2025 and we'll reveal it soon. Bye, everyone.